dear, I've been to Croatia. I've completed I Am Setsuna. I don't have the holiday blues. I have the Manchester Greys instead.
Hello fellow readers, I've gone digital again. It's been nearly 3 years since my last digital post. I'm clearly one for consistency. So this time I thought I'd put you through my holiday snaps, stories and pictures. So I thought, why read a whole bunch of text when you can listen to my gorgeous voice? My gorgeous voice.
So, interesting story about us. After several months of pondering and resisting, we finally succumbed to the overwhelming juggernaut of magnificent TV known as Game of Thrones.
However, when we booked our trip to Croatia, we were completely unaware until middle of season 4. Joffrey's death. We found out that the show was filmed in Dubrovnik and Split. Where was it filmed? Oh yeah, Dubrovnik and Split. Well, I'm still going to stick to my roots of telling you about what I've done, my personal stories, while trying to keep you on a shoestring budget. However, I might have to confess that I'm now no longer a traveller. I'm a tourist.
I've now gone from staying in rooms of 12, where I want to be mates with 2 of them and kill 4 of them, to now staying in 4-star hotels with one amazing man who I sometimes want to strangle 4 times a year. It must be true love. Yes, a tourist. I have now got a dainty camcorder bag which now at one point contained my hotel keys, half my spending money, a camcorder now loaded with 25% useful photos, 50% deletables, 20% nostril cavities and 5% Instagram fodder. Yay!
Seriously, just give me a visor or drinking water bottle and call me Pam. Oh my god, Mel, look at that! Everything's so old and small over here. Back to Croatia. Since I live in Manchester, I went from Manchester Airport. In no more than 2 hours into the trip, I then decide to turn into not only Pam, but also an old nagging wife. So one of those ones that like shouting out orders to their other half, even if everyone else is around hearing what they're saying. Come to take the bags. Off we go to Croatia.
Thankfully it's a 3-hour flight from Manchester to Dubrovnik. Thankfully I have water, switch,
and patience. And Andy has the company of a lovely couple from Sheffield. Unfortunately, the wife is a bit scared of flying. Sad face. Might actually be concerned since she has to hold Andy's hand while she's flying off. She might actually be trying to reach Andy's love zone for all I know. Or she could be puking up in her bag from all the drinks she had from previously. Decide which one she's done. I would be concerned, but I have a really tough level and I am Setsuna. Die, you bitch!
More fun facts for you. The currency in Croatia is kuna, although some stores will accept euros, but do advise Hakuna Matata. Sorry, nonsensical joke there. Also, there's more Croatians living outside the country than there are living there. Even there's over 1,200 islands, but only 66 of them are inhabitable. Maybe if they put some Barratt homes on those islands, the Croatian people can come back to their beautiful country.
The first place we visit after our flight is a place called Villa Aker. I shall leave a description and links below and also on the website. It's a small private apartment which is about 2 miles away from the airport. However, I'll say this now. If you have one of those friends or partner, I'm not going to say who decides that 2 miles is a short walk, 2 miles, we can walk that, it's fine. Yes, anything outside the UK or US has roads way longer and windy than anyone expects them to be. Again, 2 miles equals 5 miles in normal people walking. And there's probably no sidewalks or pavements as they're called in the UK. My left ankle and Andy's patience can clarify that. I'm not going to point fingers at who had the bright idea to walk in the dark at 11 PM in a foreign country. I won't point a finger, but I will point a toe. The apartment was a decent size and obviously quite close. It was quite cheap as well. It was only £30 to £40 per night, and it had everything that you require, even free Wi-Fi. Again, today's letter is H and the word is however. For everything good that happens Croatia, something bad needs to counterbalance it. Handy tip, if you see a bus that goes towards Dubrovnik, Babankuk or Pile, that is the main town area if you're coming from this airport. If you unfortunately get the taxi, which the owner of Villa he is actually the taxi driver and he charged us 300 kunas. Put a pin in that for later.
If you're planning on travelling around Croatia, you mainly have two options, coach or ferry. Maybe a third if someone in your party wants to drive. Car rental is quite cheap here, around £20 a day. I do recommend for coach journeys the following: water, switch,
and patience. However, I think everyone that they're driving schools from wacky races. Let's not generalise. Unfortunately, I did witness a lot of unnecessary driving. There was a lot of unnecessary reversing and a lot of unnecessary skidding. Actually, one of the days we witnessed a woman reversing down a main road and beeping and honking the driver behind her to say that she needs to keep reversing, and so does he. That's not how traffic works, lady. Oh, like reverse driving is the new craze. Back it up, bitch.
We finally arrive in Split and oh my lord, it is beautiful. I dare say it's nicer than Dubrovnik in my honest opinion. Everything is a bit more central and easier to get around. As I commented earlier, I'm now a tourist, but I also work at a travel company, so I now get some good perks and deals. So I managed to nab this Swift 4-star hotel, Hotel Selina Palace. I shall put the link somewhere. It's very modern and very new, as it was only built in 2017. The staff were very friendly and very insistent on speaking English. Actually, this is probably the first holiday where everyone hasn't tried to make me speak their own language. Even saying the word hello in Croatian wasn't taught to us. I felt so stupid, especially when they say they know 8 to 9 languages.
I know English, Spanish, French, Russian, Korean, Japanese, Thai, Scouse. Right.
The hotel was great. It even had a spa, health centre which included gym, sauna and jacuzzi and all other mod cons, although the pool was always cold. And this is why we don't use swimming after 5 PM. Is it cold?
You do have a shop outside and a few bars and restaurants about 5 minutes down the road. Although this does raise an issue about the location of this hotel. It is in a bit of a residential industrial area, so there isn't much to do. Again, you're about 2 miles away from the town, which is 5 miles walking. Again, if you have that friend, the optimistic Skywalker, send them on their way.
Broken ankles are for wimps, lads. This is Yorkshire. Yorkshire! So our first day was great. We had a look around the amazing town. There's a great mix of old Romanesque walkways and buildings, plus cosmopolitan shops, bars. There's even a hidden market near the marina restaurants. Try and find it.
Oh my lord. If you ever want to see a whole bunch of beautiful people in one area, go to Croatia. Know that vaguely foreign footballer or exotic model? They probably come from Split.
Now Split is a great hub if you want to use the ferries to go to other islands or go further inland. There's loads to do. Our second day involved us going to I give up. It's now called Kit Kat National Waterfall Park. We booked the excursion to the waterfalls for £15 each. You basically get transported there. It's about an hour and a half journey. You then need to also pay for the entrance into the park. Maybe shop around before you buy any excursions, as some of them include the entrance fee, transport and lunch in their costs, but they're around £35 to £40 per person. But we might have been ripped off. We did pick the company with the prettiest booking agent. Now this place is picturesque. It's probably better to come when it's hotter so you can swim in the lake area, but don't be fooled by the brochures. It's got images of people swimming in the water and standing over the waterfall, but there's no indication that you can jump in the waterfall. This isn't a DiCaprio beach movie. So if you're into nature walks and photography, all artsy and pervy, all dipping your toes in, you'll love this. I do advise bringing a packed lunch as there are high prices for the huts and restaurants in and around the park.
And the following day, we went ziplining. Anyone that followed my Canadian blog know that I went ziplining in Whistler. However, the apparatus in the one in Croatia was a little bit more basic and scary, a little bit dangerous. I peed a little bit. I cried. After we got picked up in Split by Croatian Justin Bieber, I know my red flag was going off as well. I thought, he may have a sweet voice, but what is he going to do when I plummet to my death?
I remember from Whistler you can sit in the heart and do whatever you want. Pretend to be Spider-Man, Superman, Captain Underpants. This equipment basically you have to have your hands over the wire and operate the brakes. Eyes forward, which kind of missed the whole point. You zipline while screaming for the first 3 lines and enjoy the view for the rest of the lines between your elbows. I would recommend this place because it is for adrenaline junkies, or if you want to see the mountains and lakes from a different perspective.
I highly recommend a restaurant called Fife Buffet. They provide massive portions, so do the waiters. So far, if you had to get me to describe Croatia, I have to say it's like Russia, Spain, Greece and Italy decided to have a key party and a magical baby popped out, and yet no one knows who the father is. It has this remarkable mix of Russia's sexy sternness, Greece's charm and cats.
There's a lot of freaking cats. Lots.
Spain's beauty and rustic qualities, and Italy's architecture. And then boom, Croatia.
After a beautiful and active few days in Split, we have 2 options. We can either get the ferry, which leaves at 7:30 a.m. No, I prefer my beauty sleep after all that zip lining. So coachy it is again. So I have water, switch,
and patience. However, this time on the coach round, we had the driver that had the worst microphone, or he was wearing a mask while eating a burrito. Everything was muffled. Yes, I know exactly what that means. So we probably missed loads of stop gaps, and when I finally got up to go say, so what did you say on the PA system? This is what I got. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. We're on to stay for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 15 minutes? 10 minutes. I can't stress this enough. You have to read the confirmation for any private hotels or apartments, because they have slightly different rules from any 24-hour hotel, particularly for charges and check-in. We unfortunately found out the hard way. Hotel apartment Katarina, link and description below. It's in a place called Babadook, I can't remember how to say it. We unfortunately missed the part about checking in. The hours were between 2 and 5 and we turned up at 6:30. If you don't notify them in advance, you will unfortunately get shouted at. Yes, shouted at. And I don't mean like a simple shout. It is like you're 9 years old, you've broken a vase, your mum's had a bad day, and it's that time of the month shouting like 10 minutes! But unfortunately, I checked the confirmation. The email goes to my work address. Unfortunately, I couldn't see it. And my phone number was on there, although someone, hotel manager, didn't quite realise to say, maybe we should change it to the country code so I can ring these people in case they are running late. We didn't have the means to do it ourselves. But I say this is a 4-star place. 4-star. At no point should you ever shout at your guests who have paid up front. At the time, I was a bit mad. And thinking about it and reflecting on my position then, I'm actually madder and more annoyed than before. And he's accusing us of giving him wrong information. Why would I want to give wrong information? I paid up front. I paid, take my money. I'm not going to stay here. Joke's on you.
With that out of the way, I can still recommend this place if you want somewhere with a spectacular view, a reasonable price with a decent apartment. Although he did decorate with IKEA and old lady paintings, so it felt like I was at my grandmother's, which didn't really ring 4-star, it just reminded me of my grandmother. Plus, the bed wasn't that comfortable. Wait, why am I recommending this place again? There's a fantastic bay bit that even has a water slide near it, loads of restaurants and loads of bars, which is on a nice promenade. I didn't get enough time to get photos, but oops. Oh, me!
Now speaking of, I know what you're intrigued about. Yes, the location of Game of Thrones is located in a place called Old Town, which is a major tourist attraction. And it houses not only residents, but loads of old people and tourists. Wait a minute. Who's that with a blonde hair and visor? It's Pam! Oh my god, Mel, that's where she got chained.
Yes, for you Game of Thrones fanatics, you'll get to see a lot of the iconic locations, although it is a lot small compared to the small screen, but it's still amazing and a bit of a maze. Although most of the castles and large buildings are not there, there's still loads of neat streets, homes and shops that are nicely decorated and well preserved, considering that most of this was built in the 11th century, especially the old churches, towers and the port itself. Also, I need to alert you of something. Even though it's Old Town, it's still a bit of a historical site. People still live here and it's been modernised. Thankfully, the special effects team of Game of Thrones were on the ball and took out all the modernised bits. Ye old basketball court, come hither to the arcade kids' playgrounds, and a old pussy.
It's also super busy and there's loads of people everywhere. Andy unfortunately had a run-in with an old Scottish lady. You better watch what you're doing. You can start some trouble. It's a good thing Andy was actually quite resilient. He was actually quite quiet. But I know exactly what he was thinking.
Oh, you ancient bitch.
And ever, I always have to give a black people warning. It's okay to go here. As I mentioned in my Bulgaria blog, I felt like a disgusted celebrity. I stopped a fat woman from eating her buffet and she dropped a knife and fork. Croatia, they're completely fine here. They've got Pharrell Williams posters, a little ghetto in each corner. They're all clued up here. Plus everyone's too pretty to give a shit to see what you do. Oh, I'm so pretty, I don't need to care.
On the whole, I'd recommend Croatia to anyone. It's a beautiful rustic country, a bit of a hidden gem in the Eastern European region. It's mainly for adults, although I would recommend it for people with kids. There aren't a lot of activities, but you can find them. I would suggest some island hopping, but that's where all the sandy beaches, clubs and raves are.
Until next time, fellow travellers and tourists, aye aye.